Hey everyone, Teacher Chang here, and today we're going to take a look at a point of concurrency known as the incenter of a triangle. Now, the incenter of a triangle can be found by bisecting three interior angles of our triangle. So we're going to go ahead and bisect these three angles by doing an angle bisector. Now, this is going to find that central point, which is known as our incenter. And the incenter is also known as the center point of a circle called the incircle. The incircle is going to be the largest circle that we can draw that fits inside this triangle. So that's what we're going to do in order to check our work when locating that incenter. So let's start off by bisecting our angles, and we're actually going to only bisect two out of the three, because when we bisect two, we'll find out where the two intersect, and well, that should also be the same location where the third one will intersect as well. So let's start off by bisecting one angle right over here. I'm going to bisect this one on the right, and if you don't know how to bisect an angle, I'm going to show you. We'll go ahead and put our tip on one corner, and we'll set our compass setting, any setting you want, and we're just going to draw an arc. Now that's going to give us two other points on our triangle, and we're going to use those 2 points to put our tip. So I'll put my tip, keeping the same setting, on that point of intersection. I'll draw an arc inside the triangle, keeping the same setting. I'll put my tip on the other point, draw that arc, and where those two arcs intersect, that's what we're going to draw, that's where we're going to draw our straight line. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that angle bisector by putting my pencil on the angle and that intersecting point, and then we're just going to draw a line. So that's going to cut that angle in half. So bisect means to cut in half. So now that we have this, we can see that this angle is congruent to this angle. So those two angles are congruent. I need to bisect another angle. So I'm going to bisect this one on the left. I'll put my tip on one end. Again, any setting you want. You don't want something too big or too small. I'll draw that arc. And then I'll go ahead and put my tip on that new point where the arc and the side intersected. I'll draw an arc. Now the hardest part is to ignore the previous construction. Keeping the same setting, I'll put it on the other side. Now if you're dealing with an obtuse triangle, you may need to make the compass setting a little bit larger. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect that intersecting point with that angle. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these 2 points right over here. And that's going to bisect that angle. So now this angle right here is congruent with this angle over here. So these two are congruent. Okay, now they all intersect, or the two intersect at one specific location, which is located right over here. Now this is our incenter. So that's going to be the center of a circle, which should touch the edges of our triangle, and that's going to be the largest circle that we can draw. So I'm going to go ahead and check to see if that's really our incenter here. Most of the time it works out nicely. Other times, since we're not always the greatest with our constructions, it might not fit in perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and draw that circle. To do that, what I need is to locate that radius. So to locate that radius, I'm going to go ahead and draw a perpendicular line going through this point with one of the three sides. I'm going to use this bottom side here. So my goal is to draw or construct a perpendicular line like this. To do that, I'm going to put my tip on that incenter, and I'm going to set my compass setting so that it goes through that side twice. So if I draw that, we can see that it goes through the side twice, once over here and once over here. Now we're going to go ahead and put my tip on that point, and you can keep the same setting or make it larger, and I'm going to draw an arc underneath that line. Keeping the same setting, I'll go to the other side, put my tip on that other point, and I'm going to draw that same arc until the two arcs intersect. And where the two arcs intersected, I could go ahead and just draw a straight line. So I'm going to go ahead and take my incenter, connect it with that new point that we just found. And what we just did is we've created a right angle. Now that right angle, where it hits that side, the distance from the incenter to that point is going to be the radius of my circle. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out that distance by putting the tip on the incenter, putting the pencil on that point. So I'm going to measure out that distance. And then I'm just going to go ahead and draw a circle, and that should touch each of the three sides. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that circle really quickly, and it should just touch the three sides. Now again, it should be pretty close. If you're a little bit off, that's okay. So right over here, it's a little bit off. But on the other sides, it's pretty much touching them. So as long as it's pretty close, that's pretty much what your in circle will look like. But again, the goal is to find that point of concurrency, which is the incenter. And to find that point of concurrency, you're going to bisect your angles. You really only have to do 2 of them, but if you want to do the third, you can't. And that's going to go ahead and find that point of intersection. That's your incenter. All right, I hope this worked out for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, have a good one. Good luck, enjoy, and have fun.